Hello, it is now 7:03 p.m. and a big welcome to you all to this week's edition of Community Conversation. I am Jonelle Dinabazu.
And I am C. Ron Allen.
We're coming to you live from the patio at the Amazon Hub, 400 West Atlantic Avenue, Delray Beach. We have been telling you about tonight's meet and greet and fish fry for the past 3 weeks. And now that the time is here, we're so excited to be able to be out in public again. Well, even though it's limited, the fish fry started at 6 p.m. and will go on until 9 p.m. tonight. There was a saxophone player playing jazz music earlier, and I heard that there will be a drum circle performing tonight. What a treat! So, Mr. Siron, what do you have on the lineup for the community fish fry tonight?
Well, you were right there, Dina. I am so glad you mentioned the people are passing by saying hello. I'm so glad you mentioned the jazz musician. We had Mr. Eric Akers, Delray Beach's finest and South Florida's renowned Eric Akers, jazz musician. He's playing, and we've been listening to his sound since 6 o'clock. We just heard from our beloved mayor, Mayor Shelley Petrolia, our vice mayor, Shirley Johnson. Our chief of police is here, and we have a few other dignitaries in the crowd. So if you're out there, just come on down and join us. 400 West Atlantic Avenue, just right across from the police department. By the way, we are practicing social distancing. But Dina, you asked about what's on the lineup for the evening. There'll be at least one song, a few poems, and we also have a drum corps from the Milagro Center that'll be performing. Shortly after 8 p.m., our chief of police will present a bike to the student of the month at Pine Grove Elementary. We are expecting to make a few more presentations throughout the evening to students from, I think, Village Academy and Atlantic Community High School. Now, the student winners will receive a beautiful certificate and gift cards along with a bag of school supplies. Yes, Dina. And the parents, because we believe that it takes a village to
Raise a
it
child.
takes a village to raise a child. Therefore, guess what? It's going to take the entire household to help mold that child to what he or she needs to be. So we believe in taking care of the parents as well. So the parents will receive a supply of groceries, I think about a 50-pound basket of you name it groceries throughout the month. They'll receive fresh produce and 40
Ooh,
pounds of chicken thanks to his Love, Grace, and Mercy's ministry.
wow, that is a great treat. So, what I want to know is, what about the fish fry? The fish fry, excuse me. How much does it cost? And
Well,
what's on the menu?
what's on the menu? You will get a piece of swai, French fries, a roll, and a bottle of beverage or water with your money. You may also have your fish grilled or fried, I was told. And, we had 50 tickets that were pre ordered, and I think there's an additional 50 for walk ups. I think they're sold out now anyway. But for folks like Miss W and Miss Franklin and all you folk, we have chicken wangs for you. So come on down. We will have something for you. Okay? Good. She is an award winning speaker who tried to deliver her winning speech just 2 weekends ago. But because of connection issues, Miss Janaya O'Mara was not able to share her message with us. Ladies and gents, she is back, live and in person, to share with the world her take on the Electoral College. Hello, Janaya. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Siron. How are you?
Wonderful, Janaya. Wonderful. What's new in the world? How is school?
School is great, actually. I quite enjoy it. Nothing's really new. Haven't been learning anything new since the marking period ended. A lot of getting work in so it can be graded.
Okay. And you are at Village Academy, right?
Yes, I'm a sophomore at Village Academy.
Okay, speaking of Village Academy, I see Miss Kenya Madison showing up to get her fish. Hey, Miss Madison, Jania's on live on air. Say hello. So, Jania, what do you have for us tonight?
I have my essay that I had entered into the oratorical contest this past year, and it's on whether or not the Electoral College is necessary for picking a president.
Let me ask you this, Jania. Did you see the inauguration recently? Were you
Yes,
there, front and center?
I
And
I was
what were your
watching.
thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
It's quite ecstatic. I was so happy to see a new administration, something new to bring to the table. I think the greatest thing is Ms. Kamala Harris being sworn in as vice president, and her being African American and Asian, and just bringing something new that the country has never seen before. And I'm excited to see what happens in the next 4 years.
Good, good, good. Just want to say I see a few former KOP Mentor Network students coming through. See Mr. Derek Glenn, who's been with us for a long, long, long time. He just stopped by to say hello. Hey, guys, how are you? But Miss Jania Merritt, the floor is yours. Take it away.
So it says, if there was a way to simply explain whether or not the Electoral College benefits the presidential election, the answer would be no. But of course, nothing is that simple, and explanation is key. Originally, the Electoral College was created by the Founding Fathers to be the best way to pick a president. To elaborate on that point, they said that the Electoral College ensures that all parts of the country are involved in selecting the President of the United States. How about we go ahead and put all our trust into some people in a room somewhere discussing who should be the next president, while people at home hope and pray that they pick with their heart over their selfish brains? People say that they don't vote because their vote doesn't count. How can you blame them? With this electoral college, it does not count, but it can if we would use the people's vote, the popular vote. It is there so that citizens of this country have their say in who's commander in chief. It's so much more than just standing in a line and bubbling in some bubbles on some paper. It's telling the government, hey, I've been listening and watching and I want some change. However, it's not like we can see or hear what these people are doing and saying. That is another problem. We as citizens have no clue what happens behind those closed doors. All we can look at is the election numbers on the television for the popular vote fluctuate up and down like a never-ending seesaw. Oh, but then there's partisan, which means that if one electoral group in one state is all Republicans, it's not rocket science to figure out who they'll vote for, and vice versa for Democrats. There is absolutely no way that we can know if what is happening in this world that we live in affects them. Probably not, but who cares, right? So, as a final note, it is 2021, 232 years since the first president was elected. To the founding fathers of this country, your electoral college is no longer relevant to this time. And to the recent and upcoming new administration, show us something new. Make us believe that our vote matters. And when you do, then maybe, just maybe, this new generation of voters will listen to what you have to say. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. What a speech. What do you think about the future of the Electoral College going forward?
I'm not completely sure that they'll get rid of it. I know it's like in people's thoughts. I think it will hopefully get better. Maybe they'll actually see and think more about their decisions, since the past 4 years haven't been fantastic. So maybe now they'll actually think about their actions instead of just picking.
Yes, exactly. And the last president was not chosen by the popular vote.
Right.
Thank you so much for sharing your take and your speech with us tonight, Jania.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Much. Thank you, Jania. Very well done. Very well done. Now, look, folks, if you are a January baby, that means if your birthday is in the month of January, and Ms. Franklin, you know you're not born in January. Last time you came down, you claim you had 3 different birthdays. We have to look at your driver's license. But if your birthday is in January, come on down and have a free cupcake on us. Okay? There'll be a raffle. and drawing at the top of the hour, every hour, for those who are having birthdays this month. So who knows? You may just head home with one of those cool prizes. What kind of prizes we have? Well, I think we have bottles of vodka. We have the texts are coming in. What kind of prizes you have? We have vodka. I think we have a crock pot, and we have tickets to a local restaurant for lunch. Anyway, Dina.
Wow, maybe I should claim that I am a January baby now, Mr. Steele, for those prizes. If for some reason you can't hang out with us tonight for this month, start planning on February gathering. It will be an evening of bingo, and I am told that you will be treated to a meal of all you can eat. All you can eat. That is amazing. And I should point out that social distance protocol is being observed. So mark your calendar. That's February 26th for the next Friday's fish fry. A warm welcome to all of our friends who are joining us on KOP Mentoring Networks or Boca Raton Tribune's Facebook pages or on YouTube. This segment of Community Conversation is brought to you by the generous donations of Healthier Delray Beach, Blunt's New Barbershop, Genuine Tax Services, DNA Total Fitness, Ezra Krieg, Marsha Eisenberg, and Doug Young. Thanks to our sponsors, we are able to bring to you Community Conversation each week. So as you interact with your friends and neighbors, please tell them to like our sponsors on Facebook and follow them on Instagram. We thank them so much for caring about our youth. So to learn more of how you can support our mentoring programs, call or text 561-665-0151. Again, that's 561-665-0151. So let's join Mr. Siron, who is right now outside with the celebrants for tonight's fish fry. Mr. Siron, are you there?
I am back. Okay, Dina, I'm back. I'm actually outside here at the 401 or 400 West Atlantic Avenue, downtown Delray Beach, guys. If you are in the neighborhood, feel free to stop by. I was just told that we're out of fish. We had 100 fillets. We're out of fish, but we do have chicken wings left. We have presentations from the band at Milagro Center. And in a few minutes, Dina, I will have to get you a live feed from outside. They're having technical difficulties. But we have the Milagro Center is going to be performing in a few minutes. And we do have 2 local poets who will be also doing their numbers. So that's about it. Again, if you're in town, come on down and enjoy the evening with us here, our 30th anniversary KOP Mentoring Network. So 400 West Atlantic Avenue. Take it away, Dina.
And I'm sure you'll have a great time. So if tonight is your first time hanging out with us, welcome. Community Conversation is a 1-hour segment where young people around the world hang out each Friday night to learn from each other. Now, you old folks who are over the age of 30, this is their time when they sharpen their metal, broaden their vocabulary, and crown around as kids, all in a safe place.
Dina,
Yeah.
Dina, we have our chief of police who's happens to be passing by. I'm gonna have him say a few words. Say, Chief. You have your audience right here as usual.
Hello, how are you?
Good evening, Chief Sims. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. And yourself?
I am doing well. So what do you have for our audience tonight?
Well, I'm just leaving an amazing event sponsored by KOP, and where we honored a young man for his academic prowess within the classroom. And I think that's very important that we continue to uplift our youth that's doing well in the classroom. I think that's something we've forgotten over the years. That's something we need to definitely reconsider and continue to do just that.
Yes, definitely. Who will we be crowning tonight?
Well, a young man, Lou DeLeese, received a bicycle from the police department for doing extremely well in his class, in his academics. And I think that's, like I stated earlier, I mean, we need to continue to recognize these young people that's doing well in the classroom.
Well, for all of us, congratulations, Luke, for your amazing accomplishment in the classroom.
Thank you. Appreciate it. You having a good evening.
Thank you. You too, sir.
So, Dina.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, we're having a wonderful time down here. See another old head, Bill Nix, long time. In fact, he referred to me as a grandpa, but I told him, hey, it's one thing. No, you're a great grandpa. But anyway, Mr. Nix, how are you? So you came down. Why you came down? Free food? That's all right. You go get you some, brother. It's all good. So, Dina.
Fun.
Yes. Where are we, Dina? You were saying about you were giving shout out to the folks from the different countries and islands.
So as usual, shout out to our friends in the Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Jamaica, Tobago, and the U.S. Virgin Island. A special welcome to our friends from the Santos Crew and Company, joining us from Western Massachusetts. We're so happy that you are hanging out with us tonight, and we hope that you will be back next week.
Well, you know what, Dina? Not only do we have the Santos, we also have our folks from up in Maine. So we have Massachusetts registered. We have Maine. By the way, if I do not call your city, if you're outside of the state of Florida, go ahead and just send your or type your hometown in the chat so we can give you a mad shout out. We have Kentucky represented. We have Wisconsin represented. We have Green Bay, Wisconsin represented. We have Detroit, Michigan represented. We're in Kentucky. We have Louisville, Kentucky represented. Miami. Where is Miami? Miami, I guess Miami, Florida represent. Clewiston represented. Fort Lollipop. I guess they mean Fort Lauderdale. No, Fort Lickerdale. Fort Lickerdale represented. Delray Beach represented. Good. Anyway, Miami go. Yes. Okay. Good. So, Dina, we have folks from all over, in other words, represented. That's good.
That is amazing. So please remember to share community conversation on your social media pages so we can have more people from all over the world to join us.
Yes. You know, tonight's program, folks. Hey, Delray Beach Finest passing through. I just love this, Dina. It's just down here and people are just walking by. And this reminds me of WGN in Chicago. You can watch them as they broadcast night and day, and people just come to town. People visiting town just go by to see the show live on WGN TV in Chicago and radio too. But tonight's program is produced by Miss Jonaldina Bazoo, graduating senior here at Atlantic Community High School, as well as the Milagro Center. And she's sitting in the big chair tonight. The man's videos you're seeing tonight and you saw last week is none other than our illustrious cinematographer, Neil Sunsky, Neil Noel. And he's a proud product of KOP Mentoring Network, as well as Village Academy here in Delray Beach. Our State University. Check out her work on KOP's. It's time for, as they say, a hopeless people is a voteless people. Brother John himself. What's going on, man?
How's everything going?
Oh, listen to all that bass, man. What do I need to do to get all that bass? Oh, boy. Man, all that bass.
Man.
Talk to me. Hey, man, what do I need to do? I need to get some more bass, John.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I don't know what to tell you.
I got to work on my soprano. That's all right. That's all right. Well, what's going on, man? What have we been missing in politics, U.S. politics this week?
Man, what is not going on? As you know, we're still smack dab in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. As we know, man, how's it been? It's been a little bit now since the inauguration, and so it seems like that President Biden is still getting his team together. It looks like most of the pieces are in place, and he's ready to rock. And it'd be interested to see kind of what he's able to do. It looks like he's getting a little pushback from the other side, but it'll be interested to see. They have the majority in both houses. And so, yeah, it would be interested to see kind of what happens. But yeah, it's been, just a fallout, and we'll see what he's able to do and what he's able to do moving forward.
You know, John, I don't know about you, but I somewhat miss the excitement of the past. I have not been able to listen to CNN. I just haven't been able to listen to CNN and watch even Don Lemon since the inauguration because they're boring now. They're dry. You know, this new normal is just not working for me, brother. It has truly messed up. Yeah.
It's amazing back now that we're kind of back in the President Obama years where it's a civility and someone is governing the country with a steady hand, that a lot of the excitement from the past, from the insurrection into overtaking the Capitol, into the election, into debating and fighting for the election results. So yeah, it's definitely a different vibe. And so now it's kind of just waiting to see what President Biden is able to get implemented and how he's able to govern.
Yeah, you know, it's good. It's good to know that we're safe again. It's good to know that I have some strong leadership at the top. But man, I don't know about you, man. This really messed up my flow. My world has been turned upside down. I was just on this natural high for the last 4 years, and to see it come crashing. But anyway, have you heard the latest? Ted Cruz said that if President Trump gets impeached, then former presidents Carter and Clinton and Obama need to be impeached also.
Yeah, don't know where you would think that, maybe after the election and kind of those raw emotions have passed that but he's not, there's one thing, the loyalty of Ted Cruz. He's still on the Trump train. And so, yeah, he's of the opinion that, now that he's out of office, for us to continue moving forward as a country with impeachment trial just isn't fair to him. And if that's the case, then we should, try to look to impeach past presidents. So, yeah, don't know where he's going with that.
Dina, talk to me from a youthful perspective. What do you think of all this that's been happening with since the inauguration?
Well, I do agree with you that the new normal is a bit boring. I don't follow politics as I used to in the past. Like, what's in the news?
Right.
The Ted Cruz, his remarks are not surprising. We know that he is loyal to the last administration, and we know his audience, who he caters to.
Right. Okay. So, Brother John, what else on your mind, man?
Not a whole lot, man. It's Black History Month is next month. It's always good to have a month where the culture, I guess you can say, is being celebrated. And but I agree with you. I mean, football season's winding down, and it's kind of that time period where it's not a lot going on, but yet we're still in the midst of a pandemic. People are still, hoping for a stipend. And so it's just, Yeah, it's still a lot has not changed, but a lot has changed at the same time, and that makes sense.
You know,
So
you mentioned Black History Month, which starts in a few
absolutely.
days. I just got a donation today of a very impressive collection of books on written on African American uh, African Americans in this country, and that will be up for grab in the month of February. I'm thinking, Dina, if we should, let me just ask Dina this, John. Should we do a Black History essay? Should we? How can we? I'd like to present this to some deserving student out there. So if you have some thoughts, some ideas, go ahead and put in the chat how you think we should disperse of this collection. Very impressive. 30 books in this collection, and it's very pricey as well. But this would make a good library, Miss Nia Brown, as you go off to college. All you graduating seniors who don't know much about Black history except for Miss Oprah Winfrey and Michael Jordan. No,
And
no,
Martin Luther King
they don't even know about Michael Jordan, Martin Luther King Jr., and maybe Barack Obama. That's their limit when it comes to Black history. But anyway, we have this for you. So, Dina, between writing, how do you think we should do this? Writing an essay, maybe an oratory contest, or how do you think we should disperse of this, Dina?
Well, I think thinking about it, maybe writing an essay, but I think we should get the books to the people who are hungry for knowledge.
For knowledge.
Yeah.
How do you determine that, guys? If you texts are coming in, if you're out there and you're listening and you have an idea of how we should pass out these books, put it in chat, or you can email or text 561-665-0151, 561-665-0151. Now, Dina, you were saying that we should do this how?
Well, it's the supply and demand. If it depends on how much demand we have for it.
Okay. All right.
We could determine how we would go about it.
Okay. We will talk more about that, and by the next meeting, we'll come up, John, with a way to do away with this. Who knows? We may even have a few dollars to go along with this. Anyway, always good, brother. You have a good weekend, and we will see you next week.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Daniels. Dina. Go ahead, Dina. So,
for much of his childhood years, Tywin Daniels' life mired in crime. He was an independent businessman dating back from his elementary school days. That lifestyle continued until he was 16, when he was arrested and charged, a decision that has pampered his growth for the past 24 years. By his own admission, there was a time that he could not hold a driver's license because of his record. But all that changed when he met Mr. Ciaron Allen. Today, at 40, Mr. Daniels is an insurance agent for Prime America, and he recently earned one of the highest ratings in the investment industry. Mr. Daniels, thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clear. You had a very interesting childhood.
Yes, yes.
So take me back. How was your childhood like?
Basically, just like most inner city kids, single parent household, never knew my dad. Um, Section 8, just it was tough, a lot of love, but just that whole inner city experience.
Where did you grow up exactly?
I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a little area called Franklin Park.
So when all the things you were noticing, what were what really went wrong, would you say?
When you say all the things I was noticing and what went wrong, can
No,
you?
yes, in your neighborhood, like where you grew up,
Mhm.
what went wrong to get you like to get arrested in that sense?
Making
Take
bad
that turn.
decisions, hanging with the wrong people, just being in a bad environment, hanging with the wrong people, making poor decisions.
Yeah. Um, what would you say your life was like prior to your introduction to the KOP Mentoring Network?
I mean, I started selling drugs at a very young age, believe it or not, since elementary school. Obviously, a lot of people didn't know, parents, my mom didn't know. I kind of kept it under wraps, but I was selling drugs basically from the time I was in elementary school all the way up to adulthood in my 20s. And when I was 16, I caught a felony because I sold to an undercover, and that's how I got the one felony that was on my record.
Oh, wow. How did you come in contact with the KOP Mentoring Network?
There, that's an interesting story in and of
Mhm.
itself. But I was actually fighting for custody of my oldest son, and I did everything on my own in the courts, and I won the case. But because I'm not a lawyer, I didn't put down that I wanted custody, even though the judgment was in my favor. So there was a lawyer, Miss Carol Solomon. She was in the courtroom with me, and she was very impressed with the fact that I was a single. I did my own paperwork, and she basically told me wait outside the courtroom. Didn't know this lady, didn't know her from a hole in the wall. And she basically took me under her wing and introduced me to Mr. Ceron, which was my introduction into the Knights of Pythagoras.
Oh, wow. You know, you as I've mentioned before, you said there was a time that you were not eligible to have a Florida driver's
That's
license.
a fact. That's a fact.
Wow. And you recently, what an inspiring story. And you recently earned your Series 63
Yes.
investment exam. And
Yes.
you're very,
My series 6 and my series 63.
wow. How were you able to make such a drastic transition at the age of 20?
Um, no, basically how that came about is because of people like Mr. C. Ron Allen, men who basically have dedicated their entire life to helping people like me who might have come up in a bad environment, bad neighborhood, who might not have had role models, father figures. So guys like that, men like that, they're the voice for people like me. So that change came through having other positive men, positive role models like Mr. Ceron in my life to inspire me that there was a better way.
Yes, and they're very influential. What could you predict a path? Like, what would your life path be like if you had not been introduced to the KOP Mentoring Network?
I can tell you unequivocally with 100% certainty I'll be dead or in jail right now, which is where most of the guys I grew up with are right now, either dead in jail, on drugs, or on the corner selling drugs.
You know, your story just shows how important it is to have mentoring programs.
Yes, yes.
Why do you think, in your own words, why do you think it is so important to have programs like the KOP Mentoring Network to help prepare youth like you and others?
Because you actually because you have somebody to look up to. You have positive role models. You have a picture of what the finished product is supposed to look like. even if you've never had a father figure, even if you've never had a role model. So it's imperative. It saved my life. Mentorship is everything. It's the difference between living and dying. That's how important it is. That's how imperative it is. That's how urgent it is.
Wow. You know, what would you say to like a child who is in the position that you were 20 years ago?
I would basically tell them to find men. Basically, what I did is I found men that I looked up to, that it was something about their life that I wanted. So find mentors, find local men or women that you look up to, that you would want to emulate your life out there, and stick to them as close as you can and learn as much as you can from them.
That's sound advice. You know, you did recently earn your Series 63.
Yes.
How was? Can you tell us what level that is on the investment industry?
That's one of the, basically what the Series 63 investment license allows me to do is basically to offer investments in pretty much every state that I'm, excuse me, in every state that I have been registered in. So it allows me the opportunity to basically get registered in every state to do investments, to set up retirement accounts, college savings plans, basically to help my community to build wealth, to show them, teach them from a ground zero how to build wealth by saving $25, $50 a month.
Wow. And thank you for doing that for our community and changing your life around. And that will be, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story with us tonight.
Is that it?
Yes.
Sure.
Thank
No questions? You got any more questions, or that's it? I just want to make sure that's all.
Anything else you want to share with our audience?
What I want to share with the audience is that, you know, I tell Mr. C-Ron all the time, he's a genius. Like, this guy spends every waking hour trying to figure out how he can impact the community, single mothers, at-risk youth, kids that might not have fathers. So I just want to share that all the young people that's listening, stay away from trouble. I made one bad decision when I was 16 years old. I'm 40 years old now, and 20 years later, I still have had to pay for something that I did as a teenager. So it's imperative to make the right decisions now, because no one thinks that at 16 something is going to impact them at 40 years old, but it does. So have guys like Mr. C-Ron, stick close to him. You know, do as much as you can to stick as close as you can to somebody that's positive and productive, so that you have a better shot of overcoming the negativity of the environment that you in.
Well, thank you. Yes.
Mr. C-Ron wants to say something.
Todd, where are you these days? What are you doing these days? Where are you?
I recently moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm doing finances, opening up another location in Atlanta, Georgia. And I just signed my paperwork to be a vice president with the firm today. Before I got here, signed the paperwork to become a regional vice president with my financial, with one of the largest financial firms in North America.
Wow, congratulations. Yes. Was Mr. C-Ron saying something?
I think he was.
You know, Dina.
Yeah.
Ty, you certainly have been a recipient of this organization over the years, through the years. How do you plan to give back? Give back to your community?
Giving back through a lot of different ways, but one of them is, number one, being an example by me having myself together and being able to do more volunteer work with speaking with the kids, spending time with the kids, just doing stuff in the community that needs to be done. Obviously sticking with this guy here, Mr. C-Ron, you know, trying to soak up as much game that I can, you know, as much drip as I can, like the young people would say, and really try to keep his legacy going, and be able to help do for others as he has done for me.
And how do you think others can choose to do that? The same thing that you are doing or similar, to give back to their communities, to help young people like you who are on the wrong path, who are heading the wrong way?
I would say to get involved. Get involved with whatever positive people, leaders, any programs that's in their community, in their area. Locate them, get involved, do some volunteer work, because that's going to open up doors for other things, other positive things. So how they can get involved: find a local leader, someone like a Mr. C-Ron Allen, someone that's an example, someone that's positive, someone that's looking to uplift the community, and stick as close as you can with those type of guys or gals, because really that's the only way out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Did you want me to elaborate some more, or that's good enough?
Well, I think that's good enough. If our audience has any questions that they would like to ask you, they can put it in the chat right now.
Okay.
You know, Dina,
I guess you can do that.
Well, Ty, I just want to say thank you again for being here with us, man.
Most
You came
definitely.
all the way down from Atlanta to hang out with us tonight, and that means a lot.
Most definitely.
All right. You know, Dina, before you do your outro, let me just say, have an announcement here. Just came through. It says it said says the school district of Palm Beach County is hosting an all-in-one HBCU event, which started back about a week ago and continues through next Thursday. Okay, so representatives from more than 34 historically Black colleges and universities will present for an hour each. For more information, you can go to the Palm Beach County School District website at palmbeachschools.org/HBCU. Okay, so there'll be representatives from 34 historically Black colleges and universities in town, and you'll have a chance to meet with them. And Dina, this is so important, especially this year, since there won't be any tours of colleges this year and universities, so they're coming to us virtually.
Yeah,
You are you. How are you? This is your last year in school. In fact, you're on your swan song now. So how are things coming along for you?
things are coming along well. We just finished college applications, scholarships, and they're still coming. You know, this HBCU college tour, they've been doing it for a while now. They did it last year. I saw when the seniors attended the events with representatives from these HBCU schools. And now this year I get to attend.
Right. How does it feel, Dina, as a senior, graduating senior, knowing that, you know, in a few more weeks, in fact, you're going to be saying so long to your campus. You won't be seeing your teachers anymore. Are you excited?
You know, I'm excited for the new chapter in my life, but you know, I get a little sad. I just finished one of my first semester classes. I'm not going to be in the same class anymore. It's just, I get that, you know, that feeling. I'm gonna miss it. It was just yesterday. I just stepped on campus was new to high school. I was looking forward to pep rallies, going in the gym, waiting for the principal to call the senior class. And now, thinking about that, we're not going to have that.
Right.
It really showed me, the importance of the present, because last year we had pep rallies, but we were juniors. We had the band at school playing, but now we don't have that. We're not that, we're not together like that anymore.
Right. Well, I know that I have the Milagro kids. They're standing by. They're just on edge to perform. They're going to be performing in any moment now. And if you're still at home and planning on coming down, we still have about another hour and 15 minutes. We have folks here from Riviera Beach, from West Palm. I see folks from Fort Lauderdale down here, Dina. So come on down. We still have about another hour and a half to go. We have live jazz music, 400 West Atlantic Avenue. And Dina, what are your plans for college? What do you plan to go?
I am still waiting for the decision from college. FSU decisions is coming this next month, February, and some decisions are coming out in March. I'm waiting for that, and comparing the results to see where I will go. It's uncertain.
Your dream
right
number.
now.
What's your number one college if you had a choice? Number one, where would that be?
No, my number one is
University of Miami.
definitely Middlebury
FIU.
College.
Where?
Middlebury
Where?
College is in Vermont.
Middlebury. Okay. Well,
Or Mason, Florida.
okay. All right. So you want to go out of town? All right. Well, Dina, it certainly was good having you in the big seat today. Don Lemon has been, I guess, he's on an extended vacation, so he'll be back with us
Next week.
But why don't you take?
Well, that will about do it for this week's edition of Community Conversation. We hope you learned something tonight that will make a significant impact on your life this year. Young people, there is no greater investment you can make on a Friday night than being with like-minded peeps on Community Conversation. Thank you to all our guest participants for enlightening us tonight, and a big sincere shout out to Boca Raton Tribune for simulcasting us on Facebook and YouTube. A special thanks to our sponsors, Healthier Delray Beach, Blunt New Look Barbershop, DNA Total Fitness, Jeff Stearns CPA, Wellness Financial, Roots and Wings, Ezra Krieg, Marsha Eisenberg, and Doug Young. As we wrap up tonight's session, we leave you with this message.
With us.
A mask can say a lot about the person who wears it. But even more about the person who doesn't.
Be safe and have a wonderful weekend. If you're on your way down, see you soon.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.